Well. What can I say? I have seen it all, and it's not going to get any better. It's not going to sit well. We have just learned for the second time in 2 days. For the second time in 2 days, yesterday and now today, NBA decides to postpone the games, those three games. Look, what I'm saying so far is what the hell is going on? All I'm saying is why? What the hell is going on? Another African American being shot by a car. I can tell you what it is. This is Joseph Curriel. Today is on August the 27th, 2020. And we talked about this mess going on. First, we had a Jacob Blake shooting, and today we have a hurricane. Now here we go again. For the last day was the first time. Today is the second time. The NBA playoff games of the playoffs are not playing basketball. They are not playing basketball today. Yes, they are not playing basketball today because they're boycotting. They're boycotting here, and they posted it. They had to support the players. Yesterday we see Kansas players. And that's got this unbelievable thing that this is Black Lives Matter. What has happened here? What has happened 4 days ago? We see Blake get shot 7 times in his back, never walk again, probably not be able to walk again. He has been shot 7 times in his back by a car. All this stuff going on is really, 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 really a bad time. The protesters. And then you got the 17-year-old boy with his rifle shooting and killed 2 protesters. That's crazy. Really crazy. This madness has gotten out of control. Yes, everything happens. It's in a row for the second night. Now, when I say that, so look at this and listen to this. An unprecedented NBA walkout over racial injustice postponed a second day of the playoffs Thursday. Although players plead to finish the postseason, even as they rested over their emotions about waiting to bring change in their communities. For now, the basketball courts in the NBA's virus-free bubble at Disney will remain empty, and other athletes across the sport world also said they weren't ready to resume playing. They are still angry and emotional after the shooting of Jacob Blake. Players considering not playing again the rest of the postseason and going home to their communities. Although they decided Thursday they want to continue, according to the Post and analysis of their details. The Post spoke on condition on authorities because no official announcement has been made. We also agree that whether we play or not, we still have to do our best to make changes and we still have to do our part in the community. Orlando guard Michael Carl Williams said in a video interview, public relations official, it's absolutely not easy given everything that's going on. But I think that if we can go out there and do our best, and also have a list of things that we want to accomplish, everything gets completed. The NBA decided to postpone 3 more games Thursday to join the 3 that weren't playing a day early. NBA spokesman Mike Bass said the league hoping to resume Friday or Saturday. He added in a statement that a group of players at Disney World held a video conference call last Thursday with representatives of the owners, including Michael Jordan and the National Basketball Players Association, to discuss the next steps. The tennis tours already decided that they will pause play Thursday at the Western and Sutton Open in Florida Meadows, New York, and a number of NFL teams canceled practice. And pressure was being put on the NHL by members of the Hockey Division Alliance to postpone its two second round playoff games. And second round NBA games were also postponed, and other towns and sports ponder whether they will play on. This is not a strike. This is not a boycott. This is an inflated day of reflection, and they are informing action and mobilizing. WNBA players UN President Nicola Ocalana said on ESPN the Oakland Athletics decided not to play their game against the Texas Rangers. Three major league baseball games were postponed Wednesday, although others went on. The Sutton Stoppers were representatives of March when the NBA suspended this season after the Utah singer Ruby Gobert tested positive for the coronavirus. Other sports quickly followed until the worldwide sporting landscape had almost completely come to a halt. NBA players agreed to resume their season in July at Disney, making it clear that they intention to chase social justice reform from the possibility as the championship. But the video of Blake's shooting on Sunday left them so disgusting and dispirited that they wonder whether they should continue to play. The players voiced their frustrations in a meeting Wednesday night, then continued talks Thursday morning as they prepared to do that. NBA referees led a march around campus to show their support in the fight against racism. Play had been set to resume at 4 p.m. with game sets of the Western Conference Series between Utah and Denver, and Toronto were also to begin their second round series before the Clippers and Dallas met in a nightcap. It was the Raptors and Celtics who had been most volatile about the idea of not playing, but the Milwaukee Bucks acted first when they opted to remain in the locker room instead of playing their Game 5 against Orlando Magic on Wednesday. Washington is about 40 miles south of Milwaukee. Before coming to Disney, many NBA players rested for weeks about whether it was even right to play, fearing that a return to games will take attention off the depths of, among others, Breonna Taylor and George Floyd in recent months. They ultimately decide that playing will give them the largest platform, will also provide a bigger target for the critics. The NBA's relationship with the White House although when Donald Trump was elected after President Barack Obama was close with some players and officials. Trump was critical of the league again those days. They become like a potential organization, and that's not good. Let me say this. They become like a political organization, and that's not a good thing. Trump told reporters never that the league's ratings are down for previous seasons. I don't think that's a good thing for sports or for the country. Early Thursday, Vice President Mike Pence, chief of the staff mass short, says in a CNN interview that the NBA protests are bruising silly when compared to the response to ongoing to human rights violations in China. Well, whatever happens, things happen. And first things good happen. It's just in the inside you could live like this. The world we live in is unacceptable. It's unacceptable for the African Americans. It's unacceptable for everybody. It's unacceptable that we have to live. It's all about. It's all about Black Lives Matter. It's all about Black Lives Matter. I don't care that things happen. We remember Whiting King. We remember Trevor Martin. We remember George Floyd. We remember Breonna Taylor, and then we remember Jacob Blake. And yes, it is. All the schools are being and built back up again. And yes, it is. It is what it is. But like everybody said, it is what it is. Like my mom said, it is what it is. Now, Zim Watch says, and it says this: so the NBA players are going to support a career criminal that jumped bail and they had a warrant out for his arrest for sexual assault on a child. And Z Roberts, yes, she told me she was a drug user. Okay, here's Z Roberts responding. It says, so the NBA players are going to support a career criminal that jumped bail and they had a warrant out for his arrest for sexual assault on a child. Z said she was a drug user and her boyfriend was a drug dealer. She is a drug user or mine. Her boyfriend was a drug dealer. That's kind of messed up. That's kind of messed up when people don't care. All the shooting, all the African American being shot, all the whoopings and all the sexual assaults and all the stuff that do happen. This is this is America we live in, Lord. Come on, I think that could be a good deal to stop it. There's hurricane season going on. We have stuff going on every single time we see it. But yes, this is what happens when people don't leave alone. They shut down alone. And 2 nights in a row. And then we had those players. We had those players are getting everything. We had those players. That's why did I say content? And then you got Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers with tears, with getting emotion going on. He knows what has happened. It's so disgusting. That's the. It's so disgusting that a bad car did this to Jacob Blake. Shot him 7 times in front of his 3 sons. It's not right that George Floyd being pinned down by the bad cop when the bad cop got a knee on his neck, on George Floyd's neck, and he can't breathe. And it's not right that all those bad cops in LA in 1991, in March of 1991, beating white and kid. It's not right. In the 1980s, those LA police are bad cops. They are bad LA cops. That's what I hope back in the 80s. And yes, it happens. Black Lives Matter. They do what they want. They do what they want. They do everything they want. That's the world we live in. And they protesting. That's why they protesting. Yes, yes. This is not a good. This is not a good time. This is not a good time for him. Yes. And then anybody players. I mean, it makes everybody mad. It makes Joe Biden mad. But what has happened for us? And here is 2 top White House officials on today dismissed the sacrifice of decisions by the NBA players to not play games in protest over police violence against black people following the shooting of Jacob Blake. Don't predict the decision by pro athletes to send out games has sought to raise a sense of emotions and addressing issues of police brutality and racial justice. Many players of color have spoken in personal terms in regards to the shootings of Blake and other black Americans at time and Englishes of Americans, being Americans. Yes, Asked by CNN's Ellis Caldemont on New Day that Pence supports the boycott, Mark Short, the chief of staff to Vice President Mike Pence, said, "I don't know that you're going to see the administration weigh in or the one on that one way or another. In my mind, it's a boost. It's silly." He went on to criticize the NBA for its ties to China and said he believed the administration shouldn't speak out of the boycott one way or another. "If they were to protest, I don't think we care," he said. Schultz later attempted to clarify his comments in an interview with MSNBC, saying that he was speaking in a context in his brief that the NBA hasn't equally criticized China's authority government despite doing business with the country. There's a there's a context to the position that they've been taking, he said. Jared Kushner, President Donald Trump's son-in-law and senator advisor, also downplayed the boycott, saying the league needs to turn slogans and singles to actual action that's going to solve the problem. "I think that the NBA players are very fortunate that they had the financial position where they're able to take a night off from work without having to have the consequences to themselves financially," he said during the interview with CNBC. "So they had the lecture. This is great. Look, I think that with the NBA, there's a lot of evidence here. I think they have put lots of slogans out, but I think we need to do it is turn all we need to do is turn down foreign slogans and senators to act in action. That's going to solve the problem." And Carson told Washington Des Moines he will reach out to the NBA superstar LeBron James, out one of the most outspoken players in the league about social justice. He said the White House is happy to talk with him and said, "Look, let's both agree on what we want to accomplish and let's come up with a common path to get there." CNN has recently out to James' representation for comment. Blank was shot in the back by police on Sunday as he tries to enter his vehicle in, in Kenosha, Wisconsin, and according to family authorities, is paralyzed from the waist down. Each shooting is the latest incident to speak outrage over racial injustice and police brutality and has registered feelings of hurt and anger for Black Americans, wailing for Richard killings of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and Rayshard Brooks. What began as the Milwaukee Bucks decision on Wednesday to boycott their playoff game following the police shooting of Jacob Blake in the team's home state caused into the real smaller protests across the American sports sense scene by Wednesday night. The NBA soon announcing it would postpone Game 5 of three different playoff series: Bucks versus Orlando Magic, Houston Rockets versus Oklahoma City Thunder, and Los Angeles Lakers versus Portland Trail Blazers. Within hours, three NBA, five Major League Soccer, and three Major League Baseball games were called off as athletes associated with the Bucks players. During his session speech at the Republican National Convention Wednesday night, Pence commented violence incarceration in other cities, largely ignoring the concerns of people color have expressed about police violence and why he defends law enforcement. President Donald Trump, and I will always support the right of Americans to peaceful protest, but rioting and looting is not peaceful protest. Tearing down statues is not free speech. Those who do so will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, Ben said at Fort McHenry in Baltimore. "Let me be clear. The violence must stop. It must stop right now, whether it's Minneapolis, Portland, or Cincinnati. Too many heroes had died defending our freedoms to see Americans strike each other down. We will have law and order on the streets of this country for every American of every race and creed and color. Trump himself has said little about blank shooting instead of commenting on violence and cautioning that failure to follow on the internet, the multitude. And a spokesman for Trump's campaign told CNN's Jim Scholar that the president plans to address the shooting in his incessant speech Thursday night for the Republican presidential nomination. Make sure you have a look. Make sure you see President Donald Trump making his speech at the RNC that will be tonight. It started at 10. But look, let me say this for everybody for this whole stuff going on. All this stuff going on here just mentioned it for office sure. If Jacob Blake wouldn't die, he would be buried in his grave. What the Babcock did to him. Shot 7 times in front of his son, in front of his 3 sons, and nearly killed him. And thought he would never treat his 3 sons again and his wife. But what has to be done? What has to be done to make this a mess? It's just a mess. The whole shit is just a mess. Williams, Lumen, all this stuff's going on. It happened 3 months ago, and then it happened today. So this is what has happened. I mean, for the second time, first George Floyd, then Jacob Blake. I had never had no idea. I had no idea what it has to be into it. The America concerns, but I saw the NBA players are being set at home. I don't know why. John Sparky don't know why. Mark Jackson don't know why. They don't know why. Why the NBA players boycotting the NBA playoffs and never continuing the session. I mean, look, it's the end of the NBA season. What the heck? I think it's the end of the NBA season. Well, let me make this clear. I really don't care at all. Really don't care. I hope NBA will resume. The NBA will continue to resume, and it will be resumed probably Friday or Saturday. Until then, until now, this is Joseph Cruz says sign off. I'm probably going to see you tomorrow.